Okay, so thank you, Bingo. We are starting our webinar now. So can you all hear me? Yes? Okay, perfect. So basically, thank you very much for joining, and I wish to thank specifically Dana and Johannes for the opportunity they're giving us to listen to their experience with the Youth Start project. So basically, this, as you all know, the project of I-LINC is powering this webinar, and we have these invited guests, Anna and Johannes, from another European project. Will introduce themselves and say a bit more about their work and what they did. I'm very, very grateful to both of them for being part of this webinar and introducing us to how we can educate future entrepreneurs. So just say a couple of words about I-LINC, and then I will leave the word to our guests today. Basically, if you probably know that I-LINC is a project that is about boosting digital skills and entrepreneurial skills for employability of young people. So target group is young people between the age of 14 to 30, and what we would like to do is to enhance the possibility of these young people to acquire digital skills and entrepreneurial skills. So I would strongly recommend to all of you who joined the webinar tonight to have a look at our platform. You see the link, www.i-linc.eu, and to register to the platform. Why I would like you to register to the platform is because you have the recording of this webinar and the slides that I provided as part of this webinar. You will have them hosted there in the platform. And what we are doing right now is creating a repository of resources on entrepreneurial education, but also on digital skills development. We would like to share those with you, and we also would like to have your input on the project. If you have some resources on how to teach entrepreneurial competencies, then we're very welcome to receive this input. Now, a couple of housekeeping things before I leave the word to Dana, and then afterwards to Johannes. Could you please all mute your microphones? Very important. So just the person speaking will be the person with the microphone on. We will do you all otherwise, but it's easier for us if you do it yourself. Now, Dan and Johannes will talk and will be able to answer to your questions. Some of you already shared questions through the registration form, so thank you very much for doing that. And we take all the questions through the chat. So we, as European Schoolnet, will take care of the chat. So Dana and Johannes, you don't need to worry about the chat for the time being. And we will reply to all the questions of participants. Some that might have problems in listening to you, so we'll take care of all of this. You can concentrate on what you have to say. And then at the end, we will ask the questions that came through the chat. So once again, to all participants, thank you very much for joining us, and please mute your microphone. So without further ado, I will pass the word on to Dana. And Dana, if you could please introduce yourself and the Youth Start project, and then we can officially start with this webinar. Thank you very much.
Well, it's to be here with everybody today, and would like to first start by thanking our hosts, the European Schoolnet and I-LINC. Excellent project, and something that we're very pleased that the Youth Start Entrepreneurial Challenges project is able to be a part of. I think these exchanges between professors and educators is very important, and I'll start with explaining a little bit about our project, and first about myself. I'm Professor Dana Bedford. I am a specialist in entrepreneurship and public policy, specifically in education and training policy. I have worked with various governments, and all originally from the United States. I'm currently speaking to you from Lisbon, Portugal, and the headquarters of our NGO for development, which is the Portugal Entrepreneurship Education Platform. Looks to promote public policy innovation, evaluation and research, and capacity building in education reform and economic development. So I look forward to hopefully explaining to you the project. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to assist you further. Let's see if I can move on here with the presentation. Our project is the largest policy experimentation project in entrepreneurship education that we know of that has ever been undertaken. We are working with several countries, and we work with the direct involvement of top-level public authorities, that is, ministries of education, and we also have the leadership of two NGOs, the one that I'm president of and the one that Johannes is president of. We look to help with policy reform. We have a knowledge exchange in the field of education and training, and we are also here to stimulate policy dialogue and further development in the area. So if you look at entrepreneurship education, okay, let me see here. We're looking to look at experimentation. So this means that we will be able to tell, in terms of our goals here, that if they are able to work properly or not. So the first thing that we are discussing is embedding entrepreneurship education into the existing curriculum. And I think this makes our project and our approach quite different from other types of entrepreneurship education programs. We try to have a project which really focuses on self-directed learning, that is for the young person to take control of how they're learning, and with the assistance of the teachers, of course. It should be flexible and innovative, and we also want it to be able to be something transversal and transfer to different areas, different countries, and different educational realities. So we have, what makes it an experimentation project is we have an experimentation protocol. The type of protocol is the type that you would have in medical research or pharmaceutical research, where we have a group that is a part of a treatment group and a group which is part of the control group. The control group gets no treatment, and we see the differences between that part which has had the treatment and that part which is not, and we assess on various levels. It's something that we look to do so that we have evidence-based public policy, that is, that we really know what works and we're able to promote this. Again, this is with the goal of having youth entrepreneurship and promoting employability and the key competencies of entrepreneurial. So the matrix of what we do, again, the idea of evidence-based public policy. My colleague Johannes, which is a world expert in this area, will share with you the innovative learning program, which has been developed by our Austrian partners. And also we look at evaluating that program that is done by our Danish partners. The Danish Foundation for Entrepreneurship is able to randomize the schools, so that is that we're able to not just pick schools that we want to have the treatment in, that we want to be in the control group, but by having all this randomized, we can see that there is a proper correlation here. And we also look to support entrepreneurship more wholly in schools, in a more holistic approach, and we also manage this within the resources that we have. The project partners, you can see that we have different ministries, our ministry here in Portugal, the ministry in Austria, the ministry in Luxembourg, the Foundation, which I mentioned already. There are also three partners in Slovenia, which is ministry, and also several institutes that work with teachers and also work with learning development. Our program is specifically for primary school level, from 8 to 11 years old. We have two different parts of primary school, of course. One of primary school, which is just for youngest children, where they have typically one teacher, and then the older part of primary school, where we have two teachers. But the main focus is on the secondary school level, 13 to 17-year-olds. We're going to implement in schools. We look to implement with teachers, of course, as our core champions, but of course, school directors being very much important, encouraging stakeholder engagement. So finally, I'll just present to you, this is some of what we've already achieved in the first year of implementation. This is a 3-year project. This is the first academic year which we've been able to do in the 4 countries we're working. And also look at, here you'll see university education specialized students. These are students who will be starting teacher education. We also do obviously continuing education, but this is for those who are looking to just start their career education, as we want them to look at type of entrepreneurship education. Well, without further ado, I will pass the word to my dear friend and colleague, Hannes Linder, who is a true expert, and I think you'll find it very interesting. And thank you very much for your attention. So, how do I pass? I pass this to. Okay, thank you so much. Hannes?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, to bring you inside the program, hear me?
Clear.
And I bring you first to the Austrian Alps. Just you leave your daily life behind you. I think it's important when you think that you want to change maybe something, that you see that you have a wider view of possibilities and not the daily problems what you sometimes have. And I bring to speak a bit about the aspects of entrepreneurship education and then to show the program in detail. When we speak about entrepreneurs, we're using the definition from 1911 from Schumpeter. And then an entrepreneur, under the understanding from Schumpeter, is not automatically a businesswoman or a businessman. It's a person who is able to set up an idea and to realize this idea. It's very important, particularly under the context of students inside the school, after primary education, when you're working with the teachers. That's fact. And here you see in the picture the wide variations where we're needing entrepreneurs. We need entrepreneurs in business life, but we need also in different aspects of society. That's important because we are educating through entrepreneurship. And that's very important to see that there's a difference. You say that everybody should automatically be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur means that it's a fashion. It's a fashion that you are able to have ideas and to know how you can realize this. It's also called it's an entrepreneurial mindset, which should be generated inside the school or supported inside the school. We are doing this. On the one hand, we know that the European Union is fostering the key competence approach. And number 7, it's entrepreneurship or to have an initiative. But I think it's always important to understand why you should do this inside your classes. And there are, in my opinion, 3 good explanations. The first explanation is that you want that everybody has the possibility to participate in the society. Everybody should learn this, that he has the possibility to have ideas and that he can realize this idea. That's one very important aspect. The second one is we are in a very special situation in the most European countries. It means that we have 1 kid, parents, 4 grandparents, and it is of princesses and princes. And that way we need to find ways that the kids are very able to learn that there's self-efficacy. We send to the kindergarten that they get social persons. It's also very important that the possibility that they can do something, they can do mentality. very often, when you take a look that you have one kid or you have several kids, to have a very different behavior in the way how you serve these kids, which of service you offer to the kids. And very often when you have a one kid situation with 15, the kids are perfect consumers. And we should change this way of behavior. That's very one aspect why entrepreneurship education is that important. The third aspect, society needs entrepreneur that is a dynamic society. Democracy, for the economy, we need people who are willing to be initiative, bring emancipation to the society in many aspects. That's something what we need to create in each generation again. In the context of school, social entrepreneurship is used because generating ideas to solve problems inside the society. And see also out of a study which was made presented in spring 2016 are the reasons that different countries foster entrepreneurship, and you see a variation from active citizenship, as I mentioned before, social entrepreneurship to venture creation and employability. These are the points which states are normally say why entrepreneurship is important. I now want to explain two very important aspects. The one aspect is we're using a so-called TRIO model as a basis of the entrepreneurship education. The TRIO model has three aspects. The first one is called the core entrepreneurial education. In the entrepreneurial education, you find the possibility that you are able to create own ideas and how you that's the core. When you're in an entrepreneurship education program, without this, we would say you are missing a very important aspect. The second part of the second level of entrepreneurship education is the entrepreneurial culture. How you empower and inspire people. And the third aspect is we need to be very careful which of ideas we are generating. Therefore, it's particularly important that the people are learning that they are part of a community, and they also the community is needing the ideas from the people. We can develop society. Three aspects. You will see later on in the frame of the program these three levels. It's very important to know which kind of competences you want to support. And one of the questions, one of the participants was the different competences which are existing, and we can say the competence is split in three aspects: the knowledge aspect, the qualification aspect, and the attitude, which I like more. It's the passion and the fire. Very often we are good in the way of transmitting knowledge to learners, to the students, but it's important that we also give passion and fire to the students. This is the framework which we created for the competences. You can see this one also, other one, but it's very important is that you see there is a progression. When in primary education, we are promoting special competences in this area, and it should be a progression over the time, and it's not a lesson concept. We think it's particularly important that you offer from time to time learning arrangements to the learners, to the students, that they can develop the entrepreneurial competences, particularly when they are not socialized at home. And that way, when you have students who should learn this inside the school, they should have the possibility to do this several times and not in a lesson concept. We see these aspects like developing ideas, implementing ideas, and sustainable education. This is just an orientation. And jumping to the Entrepreneurial Challenge Program. It's very important that you see different colors. The different colors are oriented to the level model. On the one, and each of the challenges, there are different competences. It's that you can make a different combination of different challenges. As mentioned before, inside the research program, we have relatively fixed programs. We have, for instance, for upper secondary school, and three different kinds of programs. And this means different kinds of combinations of challenges. See, what does it mean to learn on challenge orientation? Challenges are small, complex arrangements, learning arrangements. The particular thing for this experiential-oriented approach is that the special aspect here is that you have a challenge, and in the entrepreneurial challenge-based learning cycle, it is a must that you have a feedback aspect. Very often we used to give a teacher-oriented feedback. In this field, we also try to foster that the students they get a self-assessment or a peer assessment with a change, because you take over a control and also responsibility to their own learning. And there is a third aspect where we think that's also important, it's the reflection of the challenges. Because in some cases, arrangements are working well, some other one maybe not that well, and it's important that you reflect why it didn't work in that way where you was expecting that it was, that you could not improve your competences with a learning arrangement. And you see that we think that from time to time we should do challenges to promote the students that they have ideas for this kind of new learning arrangement. I took the program for the primary education because I think it's the more unusual one. In upper secondary, we have in different countries entrepreneurship education programs. For primary education, it's very seldom that you find the program. And that way you see what we're offering is a program which is starting at the age of 8 years and it's going up to 19. It's particularly fostered for primary, lower secondary, and upper secondary education. And the challenges which you see here in this slide, you see yellow, the yellow color. These are the core entrepreneurship educations, and you have the pink one. These are the empowerment and the innovation challenges, and then you have green one here for entrepreneurial civic education. I will later on show you a combination for one of the classes, how you make a good combination that you have a program for the learners, for the students. But here you see that there is a variation of challenges, and sometimes maybe it's quite similar competences which are important. This is an offer that you have a flexibility, because each learner and each teacher is happy with each challenges, that you have a variation of possibilities. And you jump inside the program for students when they are 9 years old. Now, it's a starter level. Maybe some countries they are 8, in some other ones they are 10. It just means an average, maybe they are 9 years old. For the old kids, we would promote this program, which is set up with 5 challenges. It's starting with, an idea challenge is a challenge family where we offer different challenges up to 19-year-old students. For 9-year-old kids, we're offering a challenge which is called Get Your Ideas Moving. And you see, for the very young kids, we are offering a small mouse. The mouse is called Lee, and the girl, the girl is you from Shakespeare, drama. Everybody knows it, hopefully. And this story where the kids should be a researcher. Everybody of us knows that we like to eat cookies, when we eat cookies in the countries. In this learning arrangement, the challenge is that Julia got a cookie, a full cookie, and likes to do a cookie by herself. And it's not offered and served that she gets the recipe and all, and the resources which she needs immediately from someone, from the teacher, from the parents. She has to do as a researcher, what is inside a cookie? What do I need that I could make a cookie before she should really do a cookie? This is a different way of thinking. We want to challenge the kids that are learning in that way. It's a natural-oriented learning style for kids. That's the idea challenge. The next challenge is a category which we call My Personal Challenges. These ideas for your private life. And there we offer one challenge where thinking about price and value. In a kitchen, in some countries maybe have got my parents in around €4, and they should get the feeling what are the prices, what they are getting for, and it's a value what they are getting for in other things. That challenge which is called the empathy challenge. Out of the research, I know that it's a particularly popular challenge. And inside the category of empathy challenge, going up to the empathy map, which maybe some of you know, which is very popular for different aspects. And here you see the empathy challenge, which is used for kids in the way of communication. It's a so-called trash value challenge. It's a university-based challenge where you have the idea that you are using garbage, trash, and you create in a very special time something out of value. It's as particularly important to learn what does it mean that you create value, because it's the value what is changing your society. And you are able to create value out of garbage. You're a genius. You are an artist. Therefore, this one is done in arts education. That they're learning that they have a very special resource in art or in handcraft, that they are able to do something very, very with high value. And they also learn which kind of value they are creating. Challenge. Then we have one challenge which is called the perspective challenge, and in the perspective challenge, the kids should learn that there is something more than themselves. There is environment around us, and we are using a small challenge which is called 20 euros, and 20 euros. The kids are detectives. They realize when they have 20 euros and they are spending the 20 euros, what is going on in the society. The background information is about the economic rate cycle, what they should find out, who is participating, and they are looking where the 20 years are going around. They learn quite a lot. See a very, very small aspect of the program. The program with 5 small challenges for 1-year-old kids. Much more, and I go jumping now to the family category. I can. And there you see some more challenges. You see in the category of entrepreneurial co-education, I presented to you the idea challenge for the primary education. There is existing another idea challenge for the primary education. There is a challenge which we call the hero challenge. The hero challenge is a challenge where you get in touch with a person who has an idea, who realized an idea. In this aspect, for the my personal challenge is a challenge for your private life. Late stand challenge, I think I need not to explain this to you. Everybody knows that there's something going on about sale. Read challenge, it's a bit for the old students, not for private education. And start your project that you really get active and doing a project. Then to the entrepreneurial culture, and there you see also one aspect. We are not working only with one kind of teachers. Average in the different countries, we are working normally with 4 different teachers in secondary and upper secondary. It's always business oriented or social science oriented. The language teachers, it's the art or handcraft teachers, and it's also sport teachers. And here you see the empathy challenge, the storytelling, it's typical for language teachers, the bar challenge, perspective challenge, fresh value, as I explained before, open door, you bring something from outside, inside the school. The extreme challenge is a sport challenge. Yes, it's something about positive psychology, that you learn to know about your potential and your talents, and you're working with them. And the expert challenge is that you're able to know something and you give a kind of a feedback or expertise to someone else. In entrepreneurial civic education, we have the My Community Challenge. You're taking a small problem, maybe a larger one when you're older, in the society, and you try to solve it with your ideas. Voluntary challenge, there is an idea existing to solve the problem and want to participate in this field. And debate challenge, when we want that inside the society something should be changed, we have to bring an idea, but we have also to bring a lot of good arguments. And the challenge is often quite a good learning arrangement. These are the aspects which are connected, that you have a trio model, we have entrepreneurial competences, and based on that, we have a program, which I did show you just a very small point. When you go on the website, youthstart.eu, you find a lot more of the programs. You find teacher materials, student materials. At the moment, you find it in English and in German. but soon you find it also in the different other languages, which is French, Portuguese, and Slovenian. That's it. We have also a small YouTube channel where you find a lot of the movies which you find inside this website. But inside the website, you have a lot of small movies, but collecting them all on the YouTube site that you find them maybe easier. That's it. Write down some questions and maybe I answer them now. The first question which I saw was, how can we break the stereotypes on searching? In my opinion, that's a very good question. And of course, it's a question for upper secondary education, especially because you want to increase that people see that they have the potential, that they could make a career where maybe also can organize their own life with this. An entrepreneur could do this, of course. But of course, we have also to see that an entrepreneur is not only doing business-oriented ideas, maybe they are doing also in other fields and material ideas, not only one. In my opinion, it's particularly important that the students are learning that they are able to create ideas. But for the school, it's normally quite much more easier when you have it connected with where you are working in. For instance, when you are in the technology-oriented school or IT school, for students, this makes quite a sense to work in this field because they are find much more ideas in this context. The second question: I'm big to have an idea about the courses which are needed, but which methodology could I use? When you closer look to the entrepreneurial challenges, the entrepreneurial challenges are included in reality 4 different learning styles, because we see that there is not one new method which is fulfilling all supporting possibilities to learn to have an entrepreneurial mindset. We need to support different methods because on the one hand, our learners, but also the teachers, appreciate the variation in the ways. But it's an experience and experimental learning which is normally much more better, particularly for the attitude and the skill-oriented aspects. The aspect, when you want to split it, there exists some other good methods which you could use. One question was, did some would like to have a course for entrepreneurship which you immediately can use for the students? In my opinion, when you go on the challenges, you can switch to the possible. Hello?
It's possible, but you will need to share your screen.
Yeah, how can I do this?
Okay, then maybe if you're not familiar with that, then I suggest that you just have the.
I need to know where I find it. When I find it, I know it.
In R that you have at the top, this file edit share. Okay,
share. Wonderful. Here we are on the website. The website from the project. And I want to show you where you find the program. First of all, you have what I explained about entrepreneurship. You can find it here. There's a text and different aspects of entrepreneurship where we think that they are important. What I explained about the 3-level models and so on, find in our approach. You're just going down. It's in English but also in German and in all other languages, and you find why it's assessment important and so on. Then we also have a very holistic approach, particularly for primary and lower secondary education. This is particularly important, and there you find 2 aspects. On the one hand, we have a program which is called to Activate and to Concentrate. These are small exercises, 23 small exercises, and then there's a program which is called Mindfulness, Achtsamkeit. And there we are offering 8 different exercises which you could use. And jumping back to the challenges. When you challenges, there are 2 aspects existing. The one fact is that you can details and you can search like on Google. Does the filters mean? That is an explanation. The left means primary education up to the expert level, and with different levels. And when you're the language reference frame, E1 is starter level. In formal education, maybe it's primary education. A2 it's lower secondary level. B1 it's upper secondary 2 level. B2 same, and it's going up. Duration means how long will it take you? Which challenge I could use? The areas, language, business, economics oriented, sport, math, environmental, and very different challenge families. I do not now filter this. I go up, down, sorry, and there are existing different idea challenges. Maybe I jump to the one which I explained before, with the cookies. We push here, and there's a small explanation, the target group, the core, what is the big idea of this challenge, the core competences, which you will foster with this one, and the information. And then when you go down, then you can download the whole materials for teachers and students. It will maybe take a bit time. Sometimes some of them are very large. Also an information that them connected with this. We are jumping back. When you a program, there's an idea which you should combine for 9-year-old kids, for 10-year-old, 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on, up to the 19-year-old. There's existing several different challenges which you can do. For instance, the idea challenge A2, it's low secondary education. We think that it's very useful to rate this with business or art teachers, and it's about design thinking. And there's only one learning arrangement inside. There are several. There are very easy learning arrangements inside, up to a bit more difficult one. And to see the family is closing with B1, and it's about entrepreneurial design. They have a very sustainable business model which we are using, and there's existing also a movie. Maybe see this movie. Yeah, hope. We have some of these movies in different kind of movies which you could use. Yes, that's a quantitative overview. I hope that's fine for you.
If you have questions, don't hesitate to write them in the chat. I think that everyone was so absorbed by explanations and that nobody started writing questions. I think I have to say I'm very impressed by the amount of information that was given, and I'm not surprised because I had a look at the project after I first started talking to them a few weeks ago, and I'm very happy that we had the possibility to cooperate with you. Now, if there are no questions, I would like to give the word back to Anna and ask him a bit to tell us a bit more about the policy experimentation. As you were just giving a wide overview at the beginning. So we'll just give you the role of presenter, and then you can please carry on with that. Just bear with us a minute.
Yes, as we're waiting to, okay, terrific, get back the word here. So we'll share also of what we have as well. Are you able to see my screen now? Can you screen? You're sharing your screen. Can you see this screen?
Yes.
A website on it?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So here's the project website, so you can learn more about what we mean by project experimentation, and also you can learn about what schools we have in the different countries, and you can see the different school types here, and you can also understand a bit more about some of the terminology that we use as well. Jonas was mentioning the YouTube site. This is an excellent site where you can also follow on with what we've discussed here. So we have some EU expert groups where Johannes and I first met each other. You can see things about our challenges, about several of the challenges here. You can also see some of the mindfulness aspects that are done for younger ages. There are also several interesting projects. This was something from our Austrian friends and colleagues that worked on financial literacy as well. So there are many different resources that you can also use. And as Johannes pointed out, our project, the other project site that we have, Youth Start, has lots of learning materials. So you can see some of the countries and schools where we have been covering, and also you can also look at the glossary of terms. It has terminologies of what experimentation. So as you're learning about this, you can see what we mean by intensive type of program, and what we mean by the main teacher, what is random controlled trials. We do this process, as I was mentioning, of randomizing schools, and then we have different groups, ones that are in treatment and ones that are in the control group. And this is something so that we can finally say what is the effect of this. So you have lots of information here. We're also looking at scaling to other countries. So we have here a call for partners here, where we're looking to work with other geographies, other ministries, other schools. So we can also assist you with some of the materials, and perhaps have you join us in a future project that we might. The aspects which I think are most important in terms of the policy experimentation perspective, and I think that we have lots of further information that we can share with you from the learning program. So I think that Johannes, as always, did an excellent job in representing our learning program, and certainly I hope that you'll consider this type of embedded approach, where you're putting it into the classroom. I think something that we could also mention is that the teachers that we work with are not just teachers that work on entrepreneurship or on business or on economics in schools. These could be teachers who work on foreign languages, teachers that work with history, teachers who are math teachers, science teachers. So we're really doing a lot to work with different types of teachers where you might not think that entrepreneurship would be presented. So going back to some of the questions here. It's wonderful to see Boyan here with us, thanking us for and certainly knowing Johannes is a wonderful thing. I agree, and he's done some great things. Johannes, would you like to describe a little bit more about some of the work that you've been doing, and how you our program and the learning program to a larger audience? You haven't muted your microphone.
Yeah, I do it. So what we're offering with the Entrepreneurial Challenge program is on the one hand that we are working now in different schools. As Dana mentioned, and you can see also on the screen. But there's a possibility, on my opinion, on two sides. When you're in a school or you're a principal in a school, you have the possibility that you say you want to start now to use the challenges in your classes. That's the bottom-up approach. When you are working in a ministry, in whichever, you have possibility that you say, okay, we like to bring this in a more strategic aspect inside, and we're supporting this. Working in with several countries or smaller pilot projects that to support them how they could implement this. This is the idea of the policy experimentation project that gets out and experiments how we implement this in our own countries, but also how we could do this in other countries, support the colleagues in other countries. And we can offer a very German version, I think the wonderful Portuguese version, and then use also the possibilities when you are from a country which is speaking Portuguese, Portuguese colleagues as partner who would support you. When you speak French, our Luxembourg colleagues would support you in this field. Particularly for lower and upper secondary level, in education level, it's a bit funny for the countries. They are speaking German in primary education. For the German-speaking areas, we are more than happy to support you. For this one, I think everybody of us could do this. We have with Slovenia, a country which is in touch with the Slavic area, and we are very, very happy that we are working intensively with Bulgaria. It's our first dissemination partner. We are working on the one hand with the city of Sofia and with the ministry. And in fact, they have the same numbers of students which they are reaching, like in our countries at the moment. They also participate in parts of the research. We at the moment have starting a cooperation with South Africa, which is it's also different context, but it's quite interesting that it's also working. The challenges are working, they are flexible. This is the idea, to have a flexible approach. On the one hand, that you are able to, we can start from the starter level. Starter in the formal education means primary education, okay. But it doesn't mean that you cannot use the starter level for all the people too. They will be much more quicker than the small kids, that's for sure. The idea is that you have starter level aspects and you can increase the levels. When you go on the website, it would be very easy for you when you're, for instance, a business teacher, that you see which of the challenges are very business oriented. Of course, you will find some of them. But I think the more important aspect for us was it's important to see that we should involve more teachers than just one. Because you are in the school and you realize your business teachers aren't that good, or maybe you do not have business as a subject at all. How could you organize this? And therefore we see that there are different other subjects are very good to connect them, like art or craft or languages. And therefore we think that there is a good flexibility. This is in the higher upper secondary 2 level. And so we have more than 400 different syllabuses. And the question before, bring this inside the syllabus. How you can bring this inside the syllabus? In my opinion, there are 2 important aspects. The one important aspect that you do a pilot project inside the school and say, yes, this would work. Then you recommend in the next phase when there is a syllabus change in your country that something is changed. It's one aspect. The other is that you have a reference frame of competences. There is now also a European one from the Sevilla Institute that you see you have formulated operators. Program model concept, that you see there's an increase of this kind of competences over the years, and you have a problem how you could use them. And we are very happy that in many of the competences, many of the operators are a regular part in syllabuses, but we had just a change in our syllabus situation 2014. So we were able to put a lot of them inside the different syllabuses, which was a good situation for us. In Portugal, that you are still waiting that you can put inside the syllabus, because you have also a cycle of time where things are changed. And the approach of the European Union, or many projects, are not taking 3 years or something like this. The process of syllabus development is sometimes 10 years. And that way you need to be in time when there is a change going on in your country. Is there any other question? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying that I in the chat, I also shared with everyone a bit more about our project. You can sign up for the website newsletter. For the project newsletter, you can see the old newsletters. And we hope that we'll continue to stay in contact with you, and that we can keep in touch. And certainly, if you have any questions, likewise, as Hannes was mentioning, I know we have some participants here on the webinar that are from Portugal, others from Spain, and we would be more than happy to support and assist you in any way in giving you more information and for discussing how you might use these challenges. You have to unmute yourself.
Main proposal too, when you are a teacher and you want to get more in touch through a teacher training, I can offer you in the first July week doing a teacher training in English, a Greek teacher group. You could to Vienna. It would be, you have to pay your travel costs. We will not give you a fee to participate in the seminar. They're upper secondary level. A week later, we are doing the same in Kitzbühel, but it will be in German. And they're offering for upper secondary to 4 or 5 day training where you could participate if you are interested. For primary and lower secondary education, we are offering normally half-day training. Because they get flexible with shorter versions in that field. Yeah, when you want, you can participate. That's a possibility. Get in touch with us.
Very much for this wonderful webinar. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Johannes. It has been a pleasure listening to you and having you going through your wonderful project. I wish that every European project would be the same in terms of achievements, outputs, and impact. I would like you, please, to share with us all this kind of information that we can also share through our I-LINC community on all the upcoming opportunities that you have in your project. Probably don't know that, but you're featured as best practice in our best practice collection, and obviously so. We would like as well to share more of your challenges. We are thinking about the way of sharing it, and I think that it would be good also to have all the upcoming events that you have shared in our I-LINC calendar as well. And I just would like to say that we are also organizing a MOOC for teachers in the end of February. So we will share with all the participants to this webinar more information on that. And I think that everyone probably is happy with this webinar, and I would like again to thank both Hannes and Anna for the presentation, and thank everyone for taking part and participating. As Boyan is saying, you were terrific. You were indeed. So we will share the recording of this webinar through our platform, and we will send an email to everyone to tell you where the recording is. So again, thank you very much. It's really, you give us a very warm feeling knowing that all this is happening to teach us about the sense of entrepreneurship and sense of initiative. Thank you again, and we'll just close this webinar in a couple of minutes. It was very interesting and stimulating, and it was really inspiring. I think that all the people that took part in this webinar are going home today with some new ideas and especially with some happiness. I think. Thank you. I will be in contact. We will be in contact with all of you sharing the recording of this webinar. Thanks again. Bye.
Thank you.